There's nothing worse than spending half of your Mexico trip in a bathroom. Okay, so today I got 9 really cool ways on how to prevent getting sick, which is pretty important. Okay, so I remember a long time ago I flew into Mexico City. I went with a friend, and we went to Cancun for some serious partying. I had some crazy stories about that trip. But the rule back then was you never drink the tap water. It's the golden rule, right? And it still stands today. You never want to drink this tap water. Now, I also know that buying bottled water just sucks. It's an added expense, and it's not really good for the environment. So what I highly recommend is one of these SteriPens right here. And as you can see, they're very light. It takes 90 seconds. You put it in some water, you stir it around, and the UV light kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. And what's so cool about this is if you just use this a few times, it pays for itself. And I took in this, like backpacking. I took in this thing in Europe, India. So I saved all kinds of money. I don't know how much money, Southeast Asia. In fact, one time it got stolen. I was pissed because I had to I gotta buy water now. So it's such an amazing thing, and they're so inexpensive. So I highly, highly encourage that. I mean, you do that alone, that will put all kinds of money in your pocket. Next is the ice. I mean, yeah, sure, expensive resorts, ice is made from filtered water, but local stalls it may not be. So when in doubt, just skip the ice. And what's so cool about the SteriPen is if you're at a cafe and you got some water, you're not sure about it, you can just under the table, you can make it discreet, and that way you're not insulting the host as well. Anyways, so fruits and vegetables, yeah. I mean, there's another rule too in Mexico is you want to stick to the ones you can peel, like bananas, is good, oranges, and if you're going to eat vegetables, best to stick to ones that have been cooked a lot. Sadly, salads is not the best idea in Mexico too. Salads, they're often washed in tap water and get you sick. So when in doubt, I think in Mexico, and I think anywhere you go traveling, it's best to go with your gut instinct. So if something feels off, it's best just to pass. And I got a crazy story too. When I was in Cancun with my friend, we met some people at a bar and they wanted us to go on their boat, and we're like, yeah, I don't know, man, we don't want to go on your boat. And they got pissed. They were following us around, saying weird shit to us. And we were like, maybe we would have got kidnapped or something. I don't know. I mean, so when in doubt, it's a survival instinct. It's just if something feels off, just don't do it. Okay. Probiotics. It's also good if you're traveling, if you're going to Mexico or whatever. It's good to beef up your gut health. And I'm sure you've heard of probiotics, right? That's the big, like yogurt, stuff like that. What a lot of people don't know about is prebiotics, which is actually better. And I've confirmed this. I confirmed this with multiple sources. I used to sell prebiotics like 15 years ago, but I stopped in the health niche because, anything health-wise, people get it's very controversial. I don't know why. It's very tough. So probiotics, how prebiotics are better? Okay, well, see, your gut, they have good bacteria, and yet it fights the bad bacteria, right? And when you consume probiotics, like yogurt is a good example, it just adds a little bit of good bacteria, like some soldiers that fight. But the problem is a lot of them die before they reach your gut. So it doesn't really make a big impact. It does help a little tiny bit, not much. But prebiotics is, I kind of think of it like this, because this is the way my brain works. It's just like when good bacteria have a whole bunch of sex and they make a bunch of other good bacteria. But technically, they reproduce through binary fission. They split in two, so it helps them grow a lot more. So you get a lot more good bacteria with the prebiotics. And some of them are found in nature as well, but you can go on Amazon or whatever, and you can find some prebiotics to boost up your system. And that's not a bad idea, It really isn't, because I eat all kinds of weird shit. Don't swallow the water when you're taking a shower. It sounds kind of simple, but, there you go. Another thing is, dishes. Yeah, this is another crazy thing too, but, tiny droplets of water carry bacteria, so if you wash the dishes with sink water, make sure you dry those things very, very well. It's generally fine to wash your hands, with tap water. You just want to make sure you dry them very good as well. And, hand sanitizer is amazing, I mean, reminds back of COVID days, right? Where everybody's washing their hands 10 times a day, but that's good stuff. I mean, it really is. Especially, before you eat and if you handle money, because money's so dirty. And it also it's brushing your teeth. I mean, we're creatures of habits, right? I mean, I remember a long time ago, I stumbled, I think I was in Mexico. I stumbled and I almost, washed my teeth with the tap water. I was like, oh crap, I'm not supposed to do that because we're so used to doing that. We're creatures of habit. So a great little idea is you put a water bottle right in your sink, with water to remind you, like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to turn on the tap because we have to like dummy proof it for ourselves, right? Because, it's easy to do that. Oh, before I forget to, if you like this video, if you got something for it, please hit the like button and subscribe button. It does mean a lot to me. And also, when it comes to, I think sometimes when you travel, it's all about balancing risks too. And I've done some really crazy shit. I was born on April Fool's Day. I got some stories. One time I went to jail. Oh yeah, I was in jail. In a foreign country. That's the whole other interesting story there. That was a crazy story. But I got thrown out of the country. But one way to reduce getting sick is stalls. Or, well, not stalls, but you want to look at stalls where the locals are going. The locals know what's going on. You go where those guys go, right? And if there's like high turnover and stuff like that, that's the ones you want. So there are some ways on how to avoid getting sick. I hope it's probably been at least a little bit helpful. I got a lot of resources in this post here I made about it. It's pretty big, and I'll put the link in the description down in the first comment to help you. And if you want to know more about the SteriPen, I made a whole post about it, and I made a video as well. And I'll put the video up here. You can check it out if you want, and I'll put it down in the description. So anyways, you have a wonderful, enjoyable rest of your day, and take care. Bye.